Hey everyone, welcome to another Anime Kingdom discussion and review. This one is on episode 10, the final episode of Fairy Tail Zero, and I gotta say, I really enjoyed this episode and really enjoyed this arc overall. It was really honestly a good arc, especially compared to, like, the last arc was really good, but like just the more upbeat. There was emotional towards the end, but I love the different feel I got from Fairy Tail Zero overall compared to the last arc. But before I start talking about the whole arc overall, give that kind of a season review, let's talk about the episode first. So the beginning part of the episode, honestly, oh my gosh, I was honestly tearing up. It was a tearjerker. Mavis finding out that Zeta is actually an illusion she created, and I read like some people saying that it's her soul. It was Zeta's soul. It was an illusion fused with her soul or something like that. That's why at the end Yuri could see her, and that's why at the end, Protect and Warwood could hear her, because normally that wouldn't happen. If she was an illusion, she would just disappear, right? I don't know, but it was definitely like, it was so, like, I was just tearing up seeing, Mavis just crying her heart out, please don't leave, I don't want to, and all this kind of stuff. And then of course we also learn in their past, you see the flashbacks and everything, they're so cute when they're little, but seeing the flashback of them talking about the fairy tale thing, how do fairies have tails, and it's an endless journey kind of thing, adventure, and it was just a very nice emotional scene. I really enjoyed that part. After that, of course, it's like, what's going to happen next? Well, pretty much it's just, Mavis decides she wants to make a guild, and Fairy Tail is created. We get to see how Fairy Tail started, how they ended up, talking to everyone. And there was some pretty interesting things that throw in, like, for example, that treasure hunting guild, we saw those three guys that were actually, I guess it was their, grandfathers or something like that, maybe great grandfathers, whatever. We saw their great grandkids later, in that one arc where Natsu them were trying to find, they found the sacred fire, which ended up being the dragon. So that's pretty interesting that they threw that in. And then also that guy, the master that got away, the leader of the Blue Skull, is actually, I'm guessing, the father or something of he creates Phantom Lord, and that's why Phantom Lord later on hates Fairy Tail. And this is the whole reasoning. This is why Phantom Lord was created, was literally because of Fairy Tail. And it's pretty interesting to learn about that and having those kind of things thrown in as well, because it's like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. That's cool too that they're throwing that kind of stuff in, that these events happen during the time of Fairy Tail's being created. And it was overall, at the very end, they do kind of speed it up. It did feel like kind of a fast episode. Like, I still enjoyed it. The pacing was still okay, but like towards the end, it started to get a lot more fast. Like, they were just trying to tell everything that was going on, and it was still cool. It was still interesting to learn about everything that happened, after, to the point where we are now. And I kind of wanted to see a little bit more, see a little bit of Mavis, how she became the fairy tactician and everything, and how, her tactics, her strategic tactics are amazing. And I would love to have seen some of that, happen, and see Fairy Tail grow and fight as well, during the war and everything. But yeah, it was interesting to learn everything. We didn't really learn how Mavis died. I don't know if they're going to show that, like, we learned about that later, because, like, I always wondered why, like, what happened? How did she die, too? We learned Yuri dies, of course, as well. He has his son, Makarov. We learned everything. It goes through the whole timeline. Protect goes bad and makes Makarov the master. Then we go through all the masters, Macau, and then obviously Guild Hearts, and then going back to Makarov, which is pretty funny to see. And then of course at the end is pretty much Mavis talking about, like, yep, looks like my premonition of what would happen to the guild was true, and all that kind of stuff. It was just really cute. Like, honestly, I really enjoyed this arc overall. It was literally like a nice change in, like, how the feels it gave in this arc, and I honestly just enjoyed it and can't wait to see what the next arc is, what's going to happen. I'm not too sure. I've of course been watching Fairy Tail way before as well, but I only started to do reviews on Fairy Tail Zero But I'm here to say that I will continue to do reviews on Fairy Tail overall now that we're going back to a new arc, and it seems like I'm not too sure. It looks like the next episode is gonna be focused on Lucy. I'm not too sure if this is gonna be a filler or something, but I gotta say one thing. Did you notice her boobs look a lot bigger? Like, what the heck? I mean, Lucy's boobs are already big, but they looked a lot bigger. It's like, oh boy. But yeah, overall, that's all I gotta say about what's gonna happen in the next episode. Another thing is, I forgot to mention before that I actually read up and I noticed it too. If you guys noticed at the beginning, the Zero in Fairy Tail Zero, the opening part, it slowly was fading until the last episode it wasn't there, and then this episode, Fairy Tail Zeta. So that was pretty interesting to see. That came in as well. I actually read up that was part of how it was in the manga, each chapter. So that was pretty interesting to see that was in there as well. But yeah, overall, I honestly love this arc. If I had to give it like a review, like a scale of 10, I would definitely give it like 8 or something, maybe higher, 8.5 or something. It was really good arc and I really enjoyed it. But yeah, that's all I gotta say, guys. Really good episode to end this really good arc. I can't wait to see what the next arc has in store for us and what's gonna happen now that Fairy Tail obviously is disbanded. That was the big thing that happened at the end of the last arc, and now we're gonna have to see what's gonna happen with everyone. What are they all doing? Because it looks like Lucy's a reporter now or something, so that's pretty interesting to see. We already saw kind of what Natsu's been doing. He went back to see Mavis's grave and everything, so that was what Natsu's doing. He's just going out training and doing this kind of stuff. Lucy looks to be be a reporter, so it'll be interesting to see what everyone else is doing as well, and see how Fairy Tail, of course, gotta come back together, right? So it'll be interesting to see that as well. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this Anime Kingdom discussion and review. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If there's anything I missed and you want to talk about, comment below as well. Until next time, guys, see ya.